This week's episode of Game of Thrones is entitled The Broken Man, and I'm pretty sure it's referring to more than one character. The first of which is not a spoiler, is obviously Theon. Theon, who is a broken man, and he kind of comes back from that, thanks to Yara's little pep talk there. Although, her pep talk kind of did involve like the possibility or the choice of committing suicide if he wasn't filling up for the task. So I don't think that's a really good pep talk. The setting is a brothel, which I can only imagine how hard it must feel for Theon just to be there, because he lacks what is essential in those places.
Yara reveals what the plan of action is, which was honestly, it was super predictable. I mean, you could see that coming a mile away just because. All right, so basically, her plan is basically what Euron was intending to do with a little bit of a tweak. So she's going to go to Daenerys. They're going to tell her, hey, we got ships. We can help you. But in return, after we get you to Westeros, please help us take back the Iron Islands. That's basically the plan. And I like how, it's not an ambitious plan. It's not like they're saying, we will help you and then we will, rule the Seven Kingdoms. No, we just want the islands back. So what an absolutely divine coincidence that in last week's episode, Daenerys foreshadowed this when she asked, how many ships would we be needing in order to invade or, cross the Narrow Sea into Westeros? Well, there you go, Daenerys. You got the Greyjoys there. That's your fleet.
And that's one of the things I've noticed ever since Season 6 started. In terms of pacing, this show has been on turbo. It's been speeding. It's been doing 80 on the freeway. So many things are happening in just such a short amount of time.
Up in the north, Jon and Sansa, or as the fandom likes to call them, Jonsa, is busy recruiting men to fight the Boltons. And I gotta say, that scene in House Mormont, by the way, this establishing shot was beautiful. That's like something straight out of Lord of the Rings or some shit. That was great. But anyway, Lady Mormont is incredible. I love this scene. One of my favorite scenes. This little girl's acting chops are great. In just one scene, alright, this character managed to showcase, alright, twice if not 3 times as many balls as Tommen ever has. In terms of character, in terms of courage, and in terms of knowledge and wisdom, and just portraying a sense of power from such a young age. It is incredible. She kind of reminds me of like those anime characters that are like little girls that look kind of cute, but they're intimidating as hell because they're like hiding something, or they're like they're super powerful under the surface.
On the flip side, though, I was kind of disappointed in Sansa in this episode. Because not only was she throwing, I think, unwarranted shade on Davos, saying like, oh yeah, he got 62 men, from a little girl. I mean, hello, that's 62 men plus. By the way, I actually did the math according to what Davos said in terms of how many men they have.
All in all, I think they have a little bit under 2.5k. I think they don't reach the 2,500 mark, so they have a little bit less than half than what the Boltons have.
So disregarding Jon's advice or suggestion, she pretty much writes that letter, and this is kind of shitty, but it could turn out to be pretty good as well. It just depends. So I don't like this because it kind of seems like she's just running into Littlefinger's clutches again, back into the Littlefinger trap, but I also think that in this episode, something was mentioned. Jaime told the Blackfish, you're basically holding this castle, just for kicks. Like, there's nothing to it. You have no purpose. You've already lost. Just pack your bags and leave. So if Sansa asks the Blackfish's help, that might serve to reinvigorate his purpose and, give him something to fight for, not just, be in a castle just waiting things out.
We saw from the preview that Brienne is showing up there next week, and there is no way in hell that Jaime is taking on Brienne. No way, alright? Not even the Hound could take on Brienne. Whoops! Spoiler now. You probably already saw the episode. So, and even like when it came to the Blackfish, Bronn was saying like, well, my money's on the old guy because at least he has 2 hands. By the way, I love seeing this duo back together. I think they were the best part from the garbage arc that we got in Dorne last season.
Bronn has some pretty courageous / wise quotes. I'm going to state one for the record. Open quote. It's a good thing we're friends, otherwise we'd fuck you in the ass. End of quote.
But also, we're in a point in time where reintroducing the Blackfish this late in the game, only to have Jaime and his men storm into his castle and kill him and his men, makes no sense story-wise. So for story purposes, there has to be a bigger purpose that he has to fulfill. He said he had enough food for 2 years, and he asks Jaime, do you have 2 years? I'm like, nobody has 2 years if the White Walkers are coming. And even though I thought the King's Landing portion of the episode was kind of like the weakest part of it all, I think we still got some pretty good content. For one, we learned that Marjorie is not eating the High Sparrow bullshit. She's acting, she's a really good actress. It seems like she has a plan, so she's just working on getting the pieces into place. And most importantly, at least to me, I like the scene with Olenna Tyrell when she exposes the fact that Cersei, aside from Qyburn, his little birds, all right, that are bought with candy, and that Frankenstein monster that stands behind her, she has zero support now in King's Landing, which is why I was so surprised in last week's episode when she basically told Jaime, just go and take that castle back. She's basically putting all her eggs in one basket, and that basket is called the trial by combat. And if you've read any theories or speculation, fan speculation, I like this theory. I like the fact that people are saying that, well, now it's even more probable, because they were saying that the Mountain is going to end up fighting his brother, Sandor Clegane, aka the Hound, and he is back in full swing. I was so happy when I saw him pop up on screen. Like, my mouth just went like, just total smirk. And I thought it was weird too, because I was expecting the opening credits, right? I was like, where's my da-na-na-na-na-na? Oh, whoa, what's this? People building something out of wood. Oh.
I really liked the way that they reintroduced the character. I liked how it was Blackbeard who was trying to sort of help him change his ways and become a better man, sort of like leave violence behind. Unfortunately, though, like, violence is a fundamental component of this environment, and to refuse it is pretty foolish, right, as we find out by the end. But structurally speaking, I also liked it because it works as a very, very good contrast with Arya. Last time we saw the Hound, Arya left Westeros, and the next time we see him, which is in this episode, it looks like Arya is getting ready to go back to Westeros. To quote George Lucas, both of them are like poetry, so they have to rhyme, right? No, but like, so the waif stabs Arya in what appears to be actually Sandor's return and Arya being stabbed are like the two major shockers of this episode. So again, the two kind of mirror each other. And Arya is left for dead by the waif, just like Arya left the Hound for dead. But neither are dead. And it was really shocking, but then I thought, honestly, and I've said this in the previous review, there's no point in Arya going through all that training if she's just going to freaking die before she gets to Westeros. She's my favorite character, so obviously I have a lot of faith in her. The fact that she got stabbed so easily, the fact that she got sort of like blindsided makes absolutely no sense, especially because in last week's episode, when she blew out that candle, I kind of got the impression that she knew that she was going to be targeted. So, and when she went to the dock and, you know, paid that man, or, you know, showed her how much money she had, she was super confident. She basically told him, "We leave when I say we leave, bitch." So I'm pretty sure she planned everything out. I think this is just she's being a boss. We just don't know it yet. Next week's episode is called No One, so I'm pretty sure we'll find out the truth once and for all. But yeah, if she got stabbed that way, if judging from the preview, we saw the waif. Look at that face. That face is of absolute anger and shock. So I'm pretty sure that Arya is doing good. And also, look at that jump. That's her jumping. If she had just been stabbed and she hadn't been cured or anything, like, she would not be, you know, just doing these Olympic type jumps. That's also a shot from next week's episode. It came from the preview. We also haven't seen Jaqen. I'm pretty sure he's going to have to play a role in this before she leaves. So, yeah, I mean, there's just too much suspicion going on here, especially because they're face changers, for crying out loud. So until I see Arya dead, I'm not worried. Not worried at all. We also saw the Brotherhood without banners in this episode, although I'm not really sure why they're going around killing innocent people. To me, that kind of makes no sense for them. I don't know. They may explain that next week as well, because we know the Hound is probably going to go hunt them down for what they did. But if they're there, and I mean, if they're involved, and we're spending a lot of time in the Riverlands, this may be a hint to the fact that maybe they're setting up Lady Stoneheart. I don't know. I mean, I've already kind of given up on Lady Stoneheart a long time ago, but you read a lot of fan theories, you look at what happened in this week's episode, and you're like, yeah, maybe. Also, there's been a lot of Stark
centric progression in this season, which I love. Well, Sansa was a little bit weak in this episode, but you know what I mean. Generally speaking, the Starks have been getting leaps of development. And I like that scene in House Clover where she gets rejected because it just kind of shows, it just hammers in the fact that Robb fucked up. Like, he didn't deliver. And I think that's why he died. He fucked up. He made a lot of mistakes. He was careless. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like the video if you did, I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more Game of Thrones reviews. Comment down below with your thoughts. Catch you guys later. Bye.